What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another Beta Memoirs. And today was another good day for individual stocks. You had a lot of runners this morning, but being said, we are essentially playing the same pattern where we sell off midday. Yesterday was the same exact approach. You can even look at the same candles almost. More towards the later of the day. Yesterday we had selling only to bounce back, and then today we had a little bit of midday selling and bounce back, holding this pattern. There is no bad news to sell us. That is ultimately the thing. We have absolutely no bad news. Going into tomorrow, we're going to look at employment numbers and see where they stand and see what the market will do. I know a lot of different data I don't think really matters at this point. If the data will give, I think, small spikes, we may get another quick spike down. I don't think the market's going to completely fall off the floor, fall down to the floor. But being said, we do have a short week next week. Monday is off. The market isn't open. We're going to have to see, because historically we do typically sell around after Labor Day, so that is something to watch. Does the volume come back and just push us down? So in my mind, I am not swinging. I'm trying to go all cash into the long weekend and see what happens, especially with the data in the morning and being a long weekend. We might get some selling tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but we'll definitely have to see. And so I don't, again, really have a watch list for tomorrow. Just keep your eye on those things that are strong going into tomorrow. In my mind, as long as it's intraday, or in case we do get a massive selling coming into tomorrow, might look at positions going over the weekend, depending on if we do start selling heavily tomorrow. Again, we barely sell off and we get hit support, and then we get bought right back up. So going into tomorrow, QQQs, again, just holding, everything's going sideways. Again, you have to play essentially the individual stocks. Even like your Tesla, I mean, it runs hits, it's playing range. As long as you can capture the range, you should be good for the most part. Apple, same thing today. Popped at open and then sold off and then popped again. Facebook, there's a bunch of antitrust stuff coming out with Google. Being said, there's one of the bigger tech stocks that got hit harder today. We did play the bounce on this today. I didn't play the second bounce, so I played the bounce on that. I played the bounce on Google. But being said, these might actually come down into good buys here. So something I do want to keep in watch for Facebook and Google. I want to see how much they sell off. Do they cause the rest of the market to go down with it? We'll definitely have to see. Amazon is starting to sell. I want to see where this is tomorrow. If we're actually down here at the 33.72 mark, looking for that 200 support. And a lot of daily support around here. So if it does come down this far, might grab the bounce on this one. But again, I don't want to hold anything over the weekend. If it does hit this far down, it could reverse. It has had some momentum. It could just be a lower high to make us continue forward. But I want to wait till after the long. I want to take new positions for longer extended positions on Tuesday, as opposed to taking them tomorrow and then trying to hold them. So definitely want to see where that goes. Shop had a strong day, had a lot of upgrades today, had a massive pump, but came back down, tested support. If this is sitting here flat tomorrow, might get a nice spike on this. Again, if you are not an experienced trader, I definitely wouldn't be trading this one. A lot of the ones I trade aren't really for beginners. They are harder. Some of them, even like your shop, it's a little bit hard to get in and out of positions, especially if you're trading options on them. But being said, if your entries and exits are planned and timed accordingly, you can do pretty well on them. Being said, Roblox going sideways. Trying to look and see for tomorrow. Airbnb is still going sideways. It's been holding this 200 EMA on the daily for quite a while. Lemonade was one I talked about yesterday. It hadn't come down. It's still high. I'm looking for it to actually come down to that around that 76 mark for an entry, for a retest. First bounce, I think, would be perfect for Lemonade, but don't want it after that. If it breaks his zone, essentially 75.59, I don't want it from that point. I'll let it sell off and get it lower at that particular point. But that is pretty much what I got for tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's going to be easy. In my mind, what you got to look for is look for FANG, watch FANG, see how FANG does. We might actually get some, if we do get some good numbers tomorrow, the banks might actually run a little bit. I don't typically play the banks, but they have been playing range like everything else. Something to watch. Values, stocks, everything has been essentially playing range. Again, might be waiting for Labor Day to come around, might be waiting for volume to come around. Once volume starts really picking up here, we could do a massive sell-off for no apparent reason. So if we do start randomly selling with no news, those are the kind of days I like because of the fact that you can expect a bounce and a good bounce at that, but you have to be patient and wait for it to sell. I typically like for it to make 2 legs down, looking for support at that particular time, and then try to jump in at that time. So I want to see again what happens overnight, the overnight session, the data tomorrow, and see where that puts the market. Is the market going to rip from that point? It very well could. I mean, any news right now makes the market really fly. And even again, if it's bad news, it's a very minimal pullback at most. You get about an hourly candle to the downside, and then it turns around and starts running back up. We're definitely keeping everything in a tight range. So just keep that in mind. Again, if this isn't your market, right? It depends on how you trade, depends on if you're only investing or whatever the case is, but ultimately understand this market is very much a scalper market. You can't stay in anything for long. If you haven't done it, I would definitely practice. If you got TOS, do on demand and practice market ranges. Only take entries on your supports and resistance, or supply and demand if you're playing zones. But really just be very mindful and manage risk, because things are getting bought up, but you can't fall prey to that, because eventually they will not be getting bought up and it will fall. So you want to still protect yourself. You don't want to just blindly jump into a spot and then support gives way, and then nobody's there to liquidate your position, and you're going to lose whatever you have in your hand, especially if you're playing. Well, with that being said, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. If you've made it this far, remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.